Last night on MasterChef Australia, Michael served up 3 impressive dishes.
9 out of 10.
And only just missed winning the immunity pin.
You keep cooking like that, you won't need the immunity pin.
Tonight, George pays a surprise visit to the MasterChef house. With 3 of the country's top chefs. And they've brought along some mysterious ingredients.
You ready?
Each of our top 5 contestants will face a different culinary demon.
Work with this weird-looking vegetable.
But they'll all be cooking with one thought in mind.
First place in the finals week is up for grabs.
For the 2 least impressive cooks, an elimination round is next.
From there, one of you will go home just a breath before finals.
It's a very rare day where we get to have a relax in the house. Usually we're up at, Sparrows, getting ready and rushing out the door to get to the kitchen.
Time to wake up.
Oh, I don't want to get up.
Wake up, Bill.
I feel great. We know there's no more team challenges. We're all just sitting in the kitchen. It's a fantastic day outside.
Have you been writing in your journal the entire time you've been here?
All of a sudden, 2 guys walk in with some tables. What's going on?
We moved here now.
Like, the competition hasn't finished yet and there's already removalists in here.
Next thing we know, George is here.
Surprise!
Good morning, George. Good morning.
Ali, you ready to rock and roll? Yeah.
Ready, George.
I feel so mortified that I'm standing here in my pyjamas, and I'm pretty glad that Danny is too.
Danny? What's going on?
I'm feeling like I just want to put on my hood and hide.
And Michael? Brilliant.
My colourful check pyjamas that Arnie Kath gave me before I came into the competition. And now on national television.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your worst nightmare. I've ambushed you and decided to pop in, but even more than that, I've decided to invite 3 of this country's top chefs, creative chefs, innovative chefs, demanding chefs, over to join me for lunch. And you guys are cooking.
We're not even dressed. We still need coffees. Like, what?
Let me give you another piece of information. All of us are going to also bring in a very special core ingredient each. And I'm sure none of you have cooked with some of these ingredients.
I think the worst case scenario today would be, Japanese seaweed or, some Scandinavian fern or, something that we have no idea about, we've never heard of.
Here's how the challenge will work. You must each create a knockout dish that incorporates one of the secret ingredients. You'll have 2 hours for mise en place, and then you'll get an additional 10 minutes to plate and serve your dish. There are only 4 spots available in the finals week. If you win today, you'll be the first person through.
For the last couple of weeks, the goal has been make it to the finals, make it to the finals, make it to the finals. So to be the first person through to the finals today would be incredible. Tick.
On top of that, the winner's going to get a personalised masterclass with Matt Moran, where you can sit there and chat about all the little things that you struggle with.
That would be very good.
But you end up in that bottom two, you're in serious danger. You'll go through into elimination challenge. From there, one of you will go home just a breath before finals. Right, you ready to find out who your guests are that you're cooking for today?
Yes.
You sure? Let's welcome them. We all remember Colin from Four in Hand.
Morning, campers. Glad to see you got changed for the occasion.
I'm Colin Fastenage, head chef at the Four in Hand dining room. Four in Hand is unique. We don't really follow a trend. We use a lot of secondary cuts. It's basically our style we've developed. To be a good cook, you need to basically understand the ingredients and taste. If you have the love and the knowledge, you can do quite a lot.
Donovan Cook from Atlantic.
Are we all? Early morning start. I'm Donovan Cook, executive chef, part owner of the Atlantic in Melbourne. I'm renowned for seafood and we want to produce the best seafood restaurant in Australia. What makes my blood boil is when you get a perfect ingredient and you turn it into something really bad.
Finally, Ashley Hicks from the Buffalo Club.
I'm Ash Hicks, head chef and co-owner of the Buffalo Club in Brisbane. We're Queensland's only degustation-only restaurant. One thing we like to do here with our dishes is take one ingredient and see how many different ways we can use it and show it off on the plate. Things I like to work with in the kitchen are vegetables that are underrated and forgotten about that I think really don't get enough respect for what you can do with them.
One by one, we're going to show you the ingredients. As we do, I want one person to volunteer to cook with that ingredient.
Today, core ingredient-wise, there's 5 different ones, and it's a first-in, best-dressed basis. You want something, you have to go and grab it.
Donovan, let's start with you. What core ingredient did you bring in?
Well, since I work in a fish restaurant, I thought I'd better bring something from the sea.
I am so scared of the prospect of what is going to be coming out of those bags. I feel so ill-equipped to work with foreign ingredients.
I brought in a sea urchin.
Michael literally jumped forward to get the sea urchin. I'm like, whoa, you can have it. Take the sea urchin.
There you go. Good luck.
Thank you.
I love that, Michael. It's so confident.
It's always something I've always wanted to cook with, so...
Oh, you've never cooked with it before?
Never cooked with it, but I've read a few recipes about it and I've always wanted to try it, so...
The sea urchin basically is a delicate flavour. Shouldn't be overpowered and especially shouldn't be overcooked.
Yeah.
If you overcook it, it'll turn into mush.
Ash, what core ingredient did you bring in?
I've brought something that's a little bit unknown, a little bit tricky to work with and very underrated here in Australia. I've brought salsify.
Yeah, I'll have that. Don't even know what it is. I don't even know. I have no idea what this vegetable is, how to cook it, what it goes with.
It's like a tree root.
I don't know why I chose it.
Ash, tell us a little bit about salsify.
It's quite tricky to work with, but treat it like a root vegetable. Some people say it's got a slight seafood taste to it.
I can't believe Ellie jumped at the salsify. I was not even going to go anywhere near that one.
Colin, what secondary cut did you bring in?
We'll see, George.
Okay.
Your nightmare is my heaven. You ready?
No.
Pig's tails.
Pig's tail. Oh, that's not too bad. I could work with pig's tail. Damn it.
Come and grab them.
Alana got there first.
I wanted to go for it too.
Colin, what can go wrong with pig's tail?
Number 1, undercook. Number 2, overcook, and it disappears. And also, it's got tiny little bones in the middle. So you've got to be careful of those.
Danny, Kate, you're the only two that haven't picked a core ingredient, and I've got the last 2.
I really don't want to wait to the very last person because I think that'll be the scariest ingredient of all.
The 2 ingredients that I've brought in must be used in a sweet dish.
Oh, there's a glimmer of hope. Comfortable with dessert, but it's not going to be a traditional, ordinary dessert. I can be quite sure of that.
The first ingredient that I've brought in is one of my favourites. Licorice.
Kate doesn't look very keen.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'll go.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kate doesn't like licorice.
I love licorice, especially in desserts, and I love the fact that I can pair licorice with other flavours. You know, it's a flavour that ties in quite well with certain ingredients, but there are other ingredients, if you pair it with, it's absolutely disgusting. Kate, this final ingredient is for you. Why don't you come forward, grab it?
Oh no.
Take it back and reveal.
Pumpkin!
I can do pumpkin. I know what that is. I know what that tastes like.
Oh. Spot? No.
I definitely have pumpkin envy. I wish that I had the pumpkin.
The problem will be if you produce a dessert using pumpkin that tastes too savoury.
Yeah.
So Kate, you got a big job ahead of you. Actually, you know what? I think the whole lot of you have a big job ahead of you. You've got 2 hours for mise en place, and your time starts now.
In today's challenge, we have to cook lunch for George and 3 of his chef friends. We have 2 hours to prep, and we all have our own core ingredient.
Danny?
Yes.
You gone and got changed?
Yes.
Feel better now?
Yeah, I feel heaps better.
You got licorice?
Licorice is a tough one. The one thing that is inspiring me is licorice also.
Do you think like a meringue, maybe a licorice ice cream, maybe like a berry syrup?
What you need to do
I'm
is,
not really
you've
sure.
got so many things in your head at the minute.
Yeah.
You need to just strip it all back and go, okay, the core ingredient here is licorice.
Yeah, I'm really struggling. I just need to get into it and try and pull something together.
The bottom floor's where I live, so that downstairs kitchen is where I'm cooking. First 10 minutes of the challenge is exercise time. The cooking downstairs thing seemed like a good thing because I'd be by myself, but getting all the ingredients and equipment's taking a little bit of effort out of me, so I think I've got everything now, except I forgot the celery. I should have made a list and grabbed every ingredient I needed in one go rather than up and down the stairs. I don't think I've sweated this much since I used to play football, probably. Today I'm making sea urchins with angel hair pasta. I really just have to show off these beautiful sea urchins that I've got as my core ingredients. First thing I'm going to do is get my stock going. That's the component which is going to take the longest. Then I'm going to make my pasta. Then I'm going to focus on the sea urchin and making sure I get that perfect.
I'm going to try and, just, work with this weird looking vegetable. My aim is just to cook the salsify a couple of different ways, but I have no idea how I think that I should be cooking it. Hey, Ashley.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So how do I prepare it?
It's quite tricky.
Okay. How would you prepare it?
The skin is inedible,
Yep.
so you need to peel it.
Yeah.
But you got to work quickly because it'll oxidise very quickly.
I've got some experimenting to do.
Yeah. Just think salsify needs to be the standout.
Yeah. I think that I can pull this dish off. I'm going to try and make a puree, try to caramelise it, and then do some chips.
Today I'm doing a crispy pig's tail with a spiced pear sauce and fennel salad. I've never cooked pig's tail before. I've only eaten it, but I know it's the type of meat that needs to be slow cooked, so I'm going to be doing it in the pressure cooker.
My biggest concern is having enough time to cook the pig's tails in the pressure cooker to make them really nice and soft and just fall off the bone.
Today my ingredient is pumpkin and I have to make a dessert. So today I'm actually going to make a caramelised pumpkin cake with a cinnamon mousse and maple bacon.
When I look at the lineup of ingredients, I certainly feel that mine is the easiest. So that then puts the pressure on me to make a faultless dish.
Are there any small saucepans left over? I'm washing up one. Elle, I'm washing up one here.
Cooking here at the house is not as easy as what I thought it was going to be. we're actually all getting in each other's way. We're all trying to use the burners. And yeah, it's a real struggle. If Michael was in this kitchen as well, it would be an absolute bomb site. And yeah, I'm glad he's downstairs.
Hey, Mikey, can I turn the oven on down here? Thank you.
What do you got there, Alana?
Pork skin, Mikey.
A little bit behind where I'd like to be. I would love to have my pasta in the fridge already, you know, resting. It's not anything I can't make up. I just have to get this pasta dough into the fridge and give myself enough time to mess around with the sea urchin and make sure I get it right.
We're here with Ambush, the guys in the MasterChef house, and we brought along our favourite ingredient. Ash, Ali got your salsify.
She's making a lobster and salsify salad. She's going to cook the salsify 3 different ways on there. Puree, caramelized, and chips as well.
Where do you think she might come unstuck?
With the prep, with the speed, like it could go brown really quickly with the puree not being cooked properly. So she needs to work quickly.
I'll take it up and wrap it.
Donovan, well, Michael got sea urchin.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think he's running up and down to get all his stuff, but basic first rule of anything, you write your mise en place list out, you get all your stuff in one go, and then attack. He hadn't even started preparing the sea urchin, which is a difficult part.
And Kate got the pumpkin, and she has to produce a dessert out of it. She's come up with, I think, a nice idea, like a carrot cake, but a pumpkin cake. My concern is that she doesn't make that pumpkin dessert too sweet.
All right, guys, 90 minutes left on the clock. The push-on train has left the station. I hope you're on it. I'm feeling hungry. Push on. So, Alana, pig's tails. Where are we?
I need to pick Colin's brain about what to do with these pig's tails.
I was going to cook them, crumb them, and deep fry them. Do you have to bone them first before you crumb them, or is it more something that just people would nibble around?
It's not one bone. There's about 20 bones.
Yeah. So you mean take the bone out? Is that what you're saying? Try and take the bone out?
I wouldn't leave the bone in.
Right.
Timing is everything. If I don't have enough time to remove the bones, I'm going to have to serve the pig's tails whole. If you leave them whole, it's a little bit harder for the person to eat them.
This is the licorice. I'm just cooking it down so that it becomes more easy to fold into the ice cream. I know that licorice has to be the hero of the dish, so I'm going to make a licorice ice cream, and then I'm going to do things that will enhance the flavour of the licorice ice cream, like a passion fruit jelly. I'm hoping to do a berry syrup and maybe a walnut praline. I've made my creme anglaise and I'm whisking the licorice puree into the custard. Woo! That looks gross. And it's turning into this weird green colour. I wish I could add black food dye, but unfortunately we don't have any at our house, so I'm just gonna have to leave it to be green.
So this is the sea urchin. I've got to cut into the mouth here, and then sort of cut a nice opening so I can get the actual egg sacs out, which is what you eat. To prepare the sea urchin, the critical part of the dish, you have to open it up as delicately as possible and then pull these tongues out in whole little pieces.
If you're not careful, you're going to get spines and that all through the thing, so you need to work nice and tidy.
Yep.
How are you doing for time?
I'm a little bit behind where I'd like to be, but I'm going to catch up.
No choice, is he? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Start to move.
Cheers. Thank you, Chef.
Colin Fastnich, Ashley Hicks, Donovan Cook, and yes, George Cullen Barris. We are all here for lunch. You got 60 minutes to go.
We've only got 1 hour left. That is ridiculous. I am freaking out a little bit. I've still got to do my lobsters, do my sauce.
I'm in the kitchen, I'm smelling burning and smoke, but all I'm making is a stock. Oh, I open the oven and Alana's pork crackling is smoking out my kitchen, and seconds later, beep, 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 fire alarm's on. Alana's pork crackling is smoking out my kitchen.
What is it, Mikey?
I don't want that smoky flavour in my delicate urchin. Your pork belly's it's smoking out the room. I don't know what you have to do, but you need to do something.
Oh, the last thing I want to see opening this oven door is burnt black pork crackling.
It's the oven, because it's not burning.
The pork crackling is absolutely fine. We just mustn't have cleaned out the oven properly last time we used it.
I wonder if there's any other ovens.
To Today's challenge is the worst nightmare challenge. We've been ambushed in our own house by 4 of this country's superstar chefs, and they've thrown us some pretty wacky ingredients to play around with. The person who cooks the winning dish today is the first one through to finals week. The bottom 2 dishes go into elimination.
I've only got an hour left to prep, and I still have to puree the roasted pumpkin, make it into a cake, cook the cake, and do all the other elements like the maple bacon and the candied walnuts. I'm starting to feel the pressure that either I'm going to hit the mark fully with this dish, or I'm going to completely miss it all together.
I'm making a like salsify and lobster salad. I just want to emphasise that salsify, so I'm going to do salsify a couple of different ways. I'm going to puree it and then caramelise it and then do some little salsify chips.
I blend up the first batch of puree, and when I taste it, it is foul. It's gone brown. It's just really woody and crunchy and not right.
I don't know if I've overcooked it or...
It's not cooked.
It's not cooked?
Well, it's all chunky.
Yeah, well... Okay, I'll have another go.
I chose to cook with licorice. I'm just afraid that things aren't going to set in time. That's my main concern. I am taking a risk today by making licorice ice cream and a passion fruit jelly in a domestic environment where they really might not set, and then I won't have a dish. My jelly and my ice cream don't set, then I'm going to have to send out a liquid licorice all sort, which is not going to impress anyone.
First place in the finals week is up for grabs. Something to think about. You got 45 minutes to go.
I thought that these pig's tails would only take about 25 minutes in the pressure cooker, but they're still hard.
Get it back in as fast as you can. They're half cooked.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be able to pick this meat off the bone, yeah? You ain't going nowhere with this.
Yeah. They still need probably another at least 20 minutes. I just don't know if I'm going to have enough time to get this dish together.
I've just put the pumpkin cake in the oven. I've only got 35 minutes to go, so I really am cutting it fine.
Now that the pumpkin cake is in the oven, I move on to the maple bacon. I'm putting candied bacon on the dish to visually drive home the fact that this is savoury ingredients on a dessert dish. I might have an advantage here. We saw Gary make a pumpkin dessert in last week's masterclass. He used candied bacon in that dish, so I'm hoping that my maple bacon might work well today too.
So where are we at?
All right, so got my sea urchin in the fridge.
Yeah.
I'm going to roll my pasta out here.
Yeah.
And then it's just putting it together.
Where's your pan for your pasta?
Upstairs. Donovan comes down and looks at my pasta dough, and it is a bit soft.
So you're not going to blanch it first, or you're going to cook it from raw first?
I was just going to cook it from raw, that's what I was... But is it better to blanch it first?
Yes.
Well, maybe if I've got a bit of time, I'll do that then, I guess. He sort of recommends that if I can, blanch it first and then just reheat it quickly. It's going to make the integrity of the pasta better.
Half an hour to go. Time is running out. You need to move your butts.
I take off my second batch of puree and it's still not great, so now I have to start my third batch.
And this is so annoying to cook. I hate this vegetable.
So at this stage, I've got puree that I'm hoping is going to work. I've got lobsters, which I haven't even cooked. A sauce, which is kind of not happening at the moment.
Okay, what should I do?
Cut down on one of your elements maybe, because you're running out of time.
Ashley tells me that I really need to drop an element of my dish, and that's when I just decide to drop the caramelized salsify.
Maybe I'll just do the puree and the chips.
Yep.
Today I want to create a dish that's inspired by a licorice all sort, but how I'm actually going to execute that, I'm not sure. In my head, I'm going to try and have like a layer of meringue and ice cream and then little squares of jelly with some praline and then a nice little swish of sauce. I hope it would be good enough. We'll see.
Colin advised that if I had the time to take the bones out, because then I can crumb them, deep fry them, and they can be eaten. Everything can be eaten. These pig's tails took longer than I thought. I don't have the time to take the bones out.
The only way to go into service is with perfect prep. You've got 10 minutes left of mise en place.
I start breaking down my lobsters. The second one is actually not cooked. So I only have one lobster to work with, a little bit of puree, some sauce and some chips, and hopefully it's going to be enough to stretch between 4 people.
I'm not going to get a chance to blanch my pasta. I'm just going to have to go with my original plan for the dish.
It's not going to take that long to cook in plating up, so I should be okay.
You got 4 very happy but hungry chefs here. 2 minutes to go.
I'm happy with the cake. The flavour's definitely pumpkiny, and I think that with the mousse and the other little bits, that it will be sweet enough.
I'm really not sure how the judges are going to receive this dish. I like the flavours, but ultimately we've got pumpkin and we've got bacon on a dessert. You know, it's a bit risky.
That's it. Preparation time's over. Well done.
It's the end of 2 hours. Mise en place time is over, and now it's time for service.
We picked some unique ingredients that we knew would challenge you. Throughout your 2 hours, you've had some struggles, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the food that you put on the plate. We're gonna head up to the tasting table. We're gonna give you guys 10 minutes to plate up your course. We'll see you up there.
I'm the first person to plate up. I've got the entree. I suddenly realised that I've left way too much for this 10 minutes. I've got to cook my chips. I've got to fix up my sauce. I've got to season everything. I'm happy with how the dishes come in together. I think that's right. Yeah. But to me, this dish speaks of lobster. It doesn't speak of salsify.
Well, this is the first time we've ever had a challenge here in the MasterChef house, and we ambushed our 5 contestants with some really interesting ingredients. Let's get in the first dish to see how they went.
As I take my very little entrees to the judges, I know that I haven't really used salsify in the best possible way, but I really just hope that they like my dish.
Ali, you got salsify from Ashley. What have you cooked?
It's a lobster salad with salsify puree, a spinach sauce, salsify chips, and a little apple radish salad.
You happy with it?
Yeah, I am happy with it. It was a struggle when I was cooking because I had too many elements, and halfway through I kind of had to throw a few.
And so you dropped the caramelized off there, obviously?
Yes.
You just went with the chips.
Ash, what do you think of the presentation?
I like it. I mean, it's simple, it's nice, it's how a little salad should be.
All right, let's taste, boys. Ash, what do you think?
The puree was nice. It could have been passed a little bit more because it was a little bit undercooked still. But there was too much lobster.
Yeah.
One piece of lobster would have been fine.
Donovan?
For me, there was not a great deal of flavours, or you hadn't sweat it down enough to get all the natural flavour out of it before you added the cream.
Ali, if this was just a challenge about cooking a dish and we got this, I think we'd all be extremely happy. I think where I'm lacking is more salsify, because I'm just dreaming about salsify right now, and I'm not sort of getting the real thing. But hey, you put up a beautiful, delicate little plate of food. Well done, you should be proud.
Thanks, George. Thank you.
Thank you.
I've got 10 minutes to plate up and present my dishes to the judges upstairs in the dining room. I didn't have time to pre-blanch my pasta as Donovan suggested, and I mean that is just a sacrifice I had to make to get the plating done. I know the pasta's cooked perfectly, but it's not going to be as good as I want it to be. It looks roughly what I want it to look like. but without enough time to make it perfect.
Michael, you got sea urchin that Donovan Cook brought in. What have you cooked?
I've made for you sea urchin with angel hair pasta.
You happy?
I am. I wanted to keep the integrity of the sea urchin. I don't think it's a super technical dish. You know, there's not a lot of techniques in there, but I think the big technique that I want to show is that I could keep that flavour of the sea urchin and make it shine. I didn't want to put anything in that would wreck it.
How did you find cutting into the sea urchins?
It was hard. Got a couple of stabs, but it's worth it.
It's all right. It's all part and parcel,
Yeah, exactly
isn't it?
right, yeah.
No pain, no gain.
No, exactly right.
All right, Michael, a moment of truth. We'll taste.
Please enjoy.
Donovan, what do you think?
Overall, very impressive. My only one failing is because you didn't blanch your pasta and separate it in the actual bowl, there was pieces of pasta which were stuck together.
Ashley?
I liked it. I really, really liked it. I enjoyed it. But yeah, the pasta was a little bit stuck together. But that just comes down to time management, as Donovan said. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Michael, well done, man.
Thank you.
Good job.
I've done enough to walk downstairs happy and with my head held high, proud that I've respected sea urchin and I've cooked a good dish.
I have 10 minutes to plate up and I need to present the 4 judges with my dish to taste. Looking at the dish, it's pig's tail. You can't get any more pig's tail than what I've put on the plate, and so I think the core ingredient really is the showstopper here.
Alana, Colin brought in pig's tails and you jumped for them. What have you produced?
I've got a crispy pig's tail with a spiced pear puree and a crispy fennel and apple salad.
To be honest, I'm quite surprised we actually have a dish, because at one stage I was going to call you a taxi. Because, no, but it looks good. Hopefully it tastes as good. Looking from the tail here, it looks like you've left the bone in. Was that on purpose or just a time thing? Or?
Well, it was a time thing, but then once I started flaking a few of them off, I realised that unless I had practiced, it was going to be something that you really need to know how to do.
Right, let's taste.
Yeah, does what it says on the tin, you know. It's a pig's tail, crispy pig's tail. Braised nice. I was worried about the braising. And the apple, fennel, celery, like just light lifts it, but it's beautiful.
Donovan, did you enjoy that?
For me, the only pointer is if you'd have had more time to take it off the bone, then you could cut the whole thing up and eat the whole thing. That's the only thing.
Alana, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think I've definitely done enough to stay out of the bottom 2 here.
Plating my dish, I have a picture in my head, but as soon as I start working with my ingredients, I realise it's not going to plan. It's looking really badly. This is definitely one of the worst dishes that I've plated up. It looks horrific, and I'm really quite embarrassed that some of the best chefs in Australia are going to be eating this dish. I'm quite worried that my dish isn't good enough to keep me out of the bottom 2. If I was one of the judges, I'd be disappointed in this dish, so I don't see why they wouldn't be disappointed.
Danny, you've brought us dessert. Perfect timing, just as the sun's going down. Nice little leisurely lunch. You got licorice that I brought in. What did you cook?
Well, I wanted to make a dish that was inspired by a licorice allsort, but I don't think I really succeeded.
Right, let's taste. Donovan?
The flavour of the licorice was good. And the passion fruit was good. But together, I'm a little bit unsure.
I tasted it. It did bring me back to licorice all sorts. And meringue, a little bit wishy-washy, and I don't know if you needed a strawberry bit.
It's just disjointed. If you're going to do something like licorice all sorts, it doesn't mean you have to make it look like a licorice all sort. It's about the nostalgia of the flavour that's going to take you to that place. Danny?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm disappointed in my dish, and I'm disappointed that it isn't a reflection of my true ability.
The plating is really crucial today. I need it to be delicate and restaurant quality. So I'm trying to channel all the other desserts that I've seen in cookbooks, that I've seen chefs do in the kitchen, and I'm trying to put that onto the plate. And then I finish them off with my candied bacon, and they're ready to take to the judges.
Kate, you got pumpkin. May I note, you got a big smile on your face. You happy?
I'm happy with how presentation is, and I'm happy with the flavours. So yeah, considering, I found it a hard challenge, to be perfectly honest. I found it harder than I thought I would at the beginning.
So what have you made?
I've made for you a moist caramelised pumpkin cake with cinnamon mousse, maple bacon and walnuts.
Brilliant. Shall we?
I really enjoyed that. I liked everything about it. When you look at it and it's pumpkin and it's bacon, it plays with your mind, and then once you eat it, it starts getting sweet, and then you go back to the salty bacon. It's good. I really enjoyed it. It's good, really good.
Donovan?
I think you could try and make the actual pumpkin cake a little bit less dense. It's a bit, really quite heavy. If you have to eat the whole thing, it'd be quite heavy.
I'm feeling a bit worried that my cake wasn't perfect, and it was the part that contained the pumpkin, the hero of the dish. That might have cost me big time.
But have we reached a decision?
Yeah. Ashley, Colin, Donovan, thank you so much for coming into the MasterChef house to not only bring a core ingredient for our contestants to cook, but also to mentor them. I'm sure that is an experience that they'll never forget.
This is going to be a really interesting result. If Danny is in the bottom two, that means she can use her immunity pin, which means the person who is ranked third will then have to take her place in the elimination.
Today was an important challenge for all of you. You had to impress 3 top chefs and also hopefully secure a spot in that finals week. But if you produce one of the 2 least impressive dishes of the day, you will go through to an elimination challenge. From there, one of you will go home.
To go home now would just be so disappointing. Having made it this far and being knocked out, I think would be really hard to deal with.
We saw some impressive cooking today, but we also saw some stumbles. Danny, there were some good elements on your plate. The licorice ice cream, taste of licorice, and the passion fruit jelly was delicious. But as a whole dish, it just didn't gel.
I definitely feel like I'm in danger of being in the bottom 2 today. It is comforting knowing that I have an immunity pin, but at the same time, the consequences if I do use it are really weighing on me.
Ali, a beautiful dish using lobster, but the core ingredient was salsify. You didn't use enough of it. Kate, in terms of presentation, it was faultless. A delicious cinnamon mousse, can I tell you, some of us thought that pumpkin cake was a little bit dense.
I know all it takes is one little slip up, and that can put you in an elimination.
Alana, nice crisp braised pork tail. But your dish did divide us on the tasting table. If you had taken those bones out, it would have taken that dish to another level. Michael, your dish was all about the core ingredient and you respected that. The sea urchin was beautiful, but the pasta, it was stuck together and claggy. After that tasting, there were 2 contenders for that top dish for today. Both dishes made great use of the core ingredient and nailed the brief. If I call your name, please step forward. Michael.
When there's only 5 of us, and to know that you've cooked one of the 2 best dishes, it feels good.
Kate.
Top 2. I'm not going to be in Elimination Challenge tomorrow. Hooray!
Kate, Michael, I was so proud to see those 2 dishes. They were creative, they were innovative. You could see how your brain was working when we saw your dish on the plate. I congratulate the both of you.
Thank you.
Now, you both did great work today, but there can only be one winner. The winner of today's challenge is Kate.
I'm the first one through to the finals. I'm looking at the MasterChef title. It's in view, and I just didn't think that would be possible.
Kate, tomorrow you get to spend the day with Matt Moran to basically iron out any issues you have and prepare you for that finals week.
I'm so excited to be able to sit down with Matt Moran and my long list of things that I need help with, and to have that one-on-one time. You don't get that anywhere else, and I just feel incredibly privileged.
Michael, you're the second person through to the finals week. Despite the sticky pasta, the sea urchin said everything that we needed to know.
Thank you.
I don't know what you want to do right now because you're at home. You can either go down, clean up, or you know what? Pop your pyjamas back on and have a glass of champagne. Thank you so much, guys. Well done. Great cooking today.
Thank you.
Walking away knowing that I'm a MasterChef finalist, it feels very special.
I'm about to call out the names of the bottom 2 who were decided at the tasting table today. Danny, Ali, Alana.
We've just completed the hardest challenge that we've ever done, and we're about to find out who the bottom 2 are, and I do not have a good feeling at all.
I'm about to call out the names of the bottom 2. Ali. And Danny. We now find ourselves in a sticky situation. Danny, this is the final elimination before finals week. So this is your last opportunity where you can use that immunity pin that you carry.
Didn't want to be in this position. I wanted to cook a great dish and make it through to the finals week without the immunity pin coming into play at all.
If you choose to use it, it means Alana will have to battle it out with Ali in the elimination round.
I cooked well enough to keep out of elimination today. I cooked really well, and I might be thrown into an elimination and don't deserve to be there, really.
Danny, how are you feeling right now?
This decision's going to be really hard for me because it's just going to be really hard. It's just annoying that I'm in this position. I just didn't want to be here.
What do you have to weigh up, Danny?
I guess I have to weigh up if I think that I deserve to be in the finals week and I have to weigh up whether the others would use their immunity pin if they were in the same position, and you know, whether I'm ready to fight it out and make it to the end of finals week.
Alana, you're living on the edge right now.
I am.
What's going through your mind?
Oh, I'm just thinking, why didn't I bone out the pig's tail? And just... It's hard when you think you've done a good job. And by default, you got to go into elimination.
It's really hard to see Alana so upset, and I would be as upset as her if I was in her shoes.
Danny, I'm not asking you to decide right now. You can think about it. Go downstairs and relax. I'll see you tomorrow.
I don't know who I'd rather face. I mean, Alana and Danny are both very strong cooks, but I'm ready to fight. I'm definitely ready to come back into the kitchen and give it my best shot because I'm not going home without a fight. Definitely not.
Tomorrow night on MasterChef Australia.
You have the immunity pin. That means you could sidestep this challenge and go straight into the finals week.
Danny faces her toughest decision yet.
I earned my spot up here. I don't deserve to be down there.
Danny, do you want to use your immunity pin?